Well, we're live over on Facebook, but now we are officially hitting the recording button. Uh, Hello to all of our family out there. Oh my goodness gracious, you guys. Heidi and I today are fired up because way too many people have come into our world and we have this conversation over and over and over about taking control of your health. And and it's like no one else is going to come save you. There is no, if we all follow simple strategies and you're consistent and you're going to do them, and maybe you need accountability, I don't know, but we're just talking about there are things you need to do. But does that mean that you're going to have to pay a little bit of money today to eat cleaner, to take a few supplements, to do a few things to really optimize this engine of ours? Because we've only got one vehicle for your whole life, people. There's one, right?
There's only one.
You don't get a second chance.
Not in this time around, next time around, but
That's right. That's exactly right. So what you either say, I just don't care. I'll age however I'm going to age, and I'm going to end up most likely suffering, and getting older is not going to be for me because I'm going to have all these aches and pains. And like we were talking about, people are going to spend more and more money on things like medication, doctor's visits, extra out of pocket. Things aren't going to be covered, period. Like, oh, I have insurance, but guess what? That's not covered.
right.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Right?
And insurance is getting smaller on what it will cover. I mean, we've seen the news. We've seen the disgruntled people and who have taken their disgruntledness too far. But what has been very interesting is now the conversation is about how insurance is not covering the things we expect it to cover.
I'm
It's
going to
not.
read this. This is
Yeah, go ahead.
this is exact. I mean, this is crazy. This is from my friend today, who's a doctor. Okay. And this is what she said. She's so frustrated. She's overwhelmed. I haven't heard from her in a while. She has one of the partners out of the office that had a baby. So she's like double overload, right? But she said, I can't believe it. Since the beginning of the year, it feels like insurance wants prior authorization on anything I want my patients to be able to do. And if it's the least amount expensive outside of normal what I order, they literally, I've got to write pages of authorization to try to get it covered. Like, that's not the doctor's job. The doctor says, you've got an issue. Let's try to figure this out. We all have to figure this out.
Yeah.
So with your insurance or without your insurance, let's just let's like hash it out, you guys.
Yeah, because that's the thing is we can't depend on insurance. And the secret with the body, it's not like the car, well, I'll fix it when it's broke, right? It's not like that because there aren't parts. So
Yeah.
we can just, I mean, yes, they have amazing surgeries where they can replace things. It just blows my mind what they can replace now and it works. But do you really want to depend on that? Do you really want to go through that? And
It will never be as good as
it
the
will
original.
never be as good, right? And um, so yeah, it's not like wait till it's broke to fix it, because by the time our body is really broken and we need surgery, we need medical intervention. What's been happening has been going on at least 10 years, at least 10 years. And the body has these amazing checks and balances and regulations going on in there that we don't feel, we don't see, but they're constantly checking and adapting. And is this is the new normal? Okay, 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 I can do that. And it adapts and it changes and it adapts. And when it runs out, that takes 10 years. When it runs out of its capabilities, the mitochondria, the cellular function runs out of power, basically, and capability to defend itself, restore itself, and rebuild itself. We have disease, and profound disease. So don't wait till it's broke because it's so far behind the eight ball, we can't get it back. Or it's so much harder to get it back. And it never really gets back to we're living, but are we living.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's, people really don't consider because they're like, oh, look at how my grandparents ate. Oh, look at how they did this. They didn't have gazillions of distractions and social media and fast food and all these ultra processed foods. And they were sleeping really, really great because they didn't have all the worries and everything of today.
They didn't
Like,
have late night television.
yeah, I mean, right? Like the sun went down, they ate dinner and cleaned up, and they got ready for slumber, right? It was just the way it was. So we cannot compare. You can't look at that. We have to look at the day and age that we're living in today, knowing, yes, the three pillars again that we were chatting about earlier. No matter if you want to reduce your risk of heart disease or Alzheimer's or whatever, yeah. Yes, you need to eat clean. You need to move your body and you need to optimize your sleep. That's like all of us. And if as a community, we could be like always talking about it. That's the conversation at the table. That's the conversation in your church. That's the conversation, not the conversation of, yeah, 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 my grocery bills are higher. Yeah, 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 my mom is sick. Yeah, 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 I hate this news piece. Like, no, let's all like uplift each other with these wellness principles. But even in that, I mean, Heidi, you speak to this because you're really in the supplement world, that even if we're doing those things to the best of our abilities the majority of the time, right? We all know we're a little off all the time.
Yeah.
If we are, with the world today and our exposure to things today, people say like, well, then why do I need supplementation? I mean, and I believe our bodies just can't handle it. Like we need extra things or because we're just aging faster. But what is your kind of take and go-to for people? Because people sometimes really push back on either needing one or why spending the money. Like, that's crap. I don't believe it or whatever. I don't know. Like, so what's your kind of like hard, not a sell, because we're not trying to sell, but we're trying to tell people the truth.
Yeah. The truth is, you're right. Our bodies are having more and more difficulty adapting. And so the less able we are to adapt, the quicker we age, the quicker cell death happens, poor regeneration, etc. And so there are times where supplementation, oftentimes in my practice, I'll use supplementation as a means to an end, help the body get to where back to homeostasis, back to balance. And then it picks it up and it's like, oh yeah, I know how to do this. That's a repair, restore sort of process, means to an end. But then there's some supplements that maybe based on your genes, you probably want to just plan. It's like put a plan in place. And for example, myself, I have bad, horrible genes, like for cholesterol, for heart disease. So this is why I've been exercising my whole life, will always exercise my whole life, keep moving. And I take some specific supplements that help just prevent, just give my body another edge, another tool, if you will, to not have those genes expressed. Because ultimately, as you and I were talking about earlier, how our genes show up is up to us. Right? It's up to me to have those awful genes show up or not. And I am working very hard, which means doing those three pillars and needing some extra supplementation in key areas as prevention, as a way to keep those genes quiet and from showing up.
You guys, yeah, no, 100%. And some people think getting your genetics done is scary. I just think it's data. Okay. If you can just think of it like that. And again, if you know or don't know, you need to be doing those couple things, right? Like we all do. Again, some of us more or less or to better ability. Absolutely. Heidi's got some babies to attend to. We're bringing them on. If you're on live with us, you might see one come and go. But if I wish I could show you guys, and I will put some more stuff on social media for you to see. I know those of you listening to the podcast obviously can't see, but go over on social. Is you could take a snapshot of someone's genetics and maybe you look at 3 different people's genetics and you're like, oh my gosh, wow, that one's pretty good. That one's like, I don't know. And that one's horrible, right? Then you could look at 3 different people and I say, now match these 3 people. And you don't, if you didn't know them, right? If you didn't know the people, you would not be able to match who goes to whom because it's about the person's lifestyle choices.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what is just so phenomenal, that I want to be the poster child. You are the poster child for somebody that is not fortunate to have great genes,
Mhm.
but doing the work to keep yourself there
Yeah,
in the best shape that we can. And I think,
absolutely.
you guys, I don't mean every single biohacking thing in the world. You can go that crazy, but that's not what we're talking about here. So I do want you to understand that. So do you need to go buy every device possible? 100% no.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. There are some like really cool, wonderful things. And will they have an effect? Yes. Is it exponential? We don't know because we don't know your gene set,
Yeah.
right? And this is where personalized medicine comes in. Personalized, intentional, to work with somebody that can say what's good for you and not the collective, well, it's good for, this is good for people. All people? But we're all unique. How could it be good for all people?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. One thing, so my husband bought us for the holidays, and it was like he surprised us. We talked about it here or there, and I hadn't really known. Like, should I not? Just one of those extra things, right? But he bought a grounding mattress pad for our bed. And I was like, oh, super cool. We had kind of talked about it, never bought one. I don't know. So now we've been had it on the bed for couple weeks, right? Since Christmas time. And so he's like, what do you think? Like, have you noticed any difference? Have you not? I don't know. Right. And I was like, that's such a good question because I have started, right, a new mind body system at a similar ish time. So I've been sleeping like a rock star, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
need the Aura ring to measure it. I feel it when I wake up. I am like sleeping deep. And I'm like, but even if I can't feel it because I'm doing a lot of things, is there any negative to a grounding mat? It's like, no, there's only potential benefits,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that you may implement over time that maybe you're not going to have this like, wah result, right? Or the light switch of holy cow. That's really not how things work. If it was
Yeah.
really that profound, something serious was going on in your body.
Exactly. You may want to go, why is this working so well? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you
Yeah.
have to remember that over time, you may layer things to support your body of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, why do we put these little EMF blockers on our phone or on our computer? Can we tell if I'm using my phone it's any different? Absolutely not.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So we do these little things like the EMF, earplugs, they're safer, etc. We just do these little things because it's the little cracks. It's the little micro hairs that become bigger and bigger and bigger. The micro cheats. I have this conversation with clients all the time. Well, I really only cheat once a week. If someone says they cheat once a week, I can count on at least 2 times. Right? Um, but it's those micro tears. It's the little cheats. It's the little things that we can stack them and we have better protection, or we stack them and we leave ourselves wide open.
That's great. Knowing that we will all in life, whether we can control it or can't control it, we will all have small things.
Yeah.
But have we put systems in place to help us protect us from those consuming things over time
Yeah.
or not? And
Yeah.
if you haven't, that just means that whole like, well, I'll wait till it's broken, and the money, everybody needs money right now. Nothing in the world is getting cheaper. We've all been waiting, like everything went crazy expensive and it never came back down. Guess what? It's never going back down.
Not going back down. We got
So
used to it. We're the frog in the boiling pot.
absolutely. So, yes, is paying for your health somewhat, if you haven't budgeted today, is it going to make your budget ouch a little bit? Probably. But then maybe you have to figure out, like, well, then what's another area we can shave off? Or maybe I'm just not going to, where are you going to get it from? And I never want to convince everybody or say, like, you have to. But the bottom line is you and I have seen so much suffering and illness and sickness and young people being unwell.
Yeah.
You live your life that unwell, the productivity, the presence with your family and community, the are you even fully living? I don't
Yeah.
think so. We were made to feel great.
Yeah. We are designed to be, yeah, feeling great, have strength, energy when we want it, how we want it, muscle performance. We're designed for this. You say that, just this week, and this is only Wednesday, I've already had 2 people inquire about me taking them on as clients, and they're in their 30s and they feel awful. I'm like, how old are you? Oh, I'm 34. I'm 35. You should be kicking it and taking names. What
Yeah.
is going on? Yes, I'm going to take you on as a client. Let's figure this out, because that's not how we are designed. We were given everything we need. We were sent here with absolutely every tool, every system and regulation of performance, restoration, recovery. We're amazing. Not as
Yeah.
people, but as these cellular machines. And sometimes it just needs a little help, a little cleaning, a little support can go a long way. And a long way meaning a long life that isn't one full of suffering.
Oh my gosh. And you guys, I'm just gonna kind of wrap this. Is I was just, anyways, we're now living in the snow. So my husband's been driving my car because it's 4-wheel drive, but I sometimes need to get places too. So I was like, well, I'm going to take your car. And he goes, okay, put it in snow mode, right? Like, because it's rear wheel drive, it's sport performance, it's not made for the snow. So most of the snow has been cleaned out. But what I realized is he's got a car that can go in regular mode. It can go in economy mode. It can go in sport mode. It can go in snow mode. And I was just thinking, if all of us humans are only living in one mode, when we need to shift to high gear, when we need to go in snow mode, like I'm walking 2 dogs on ice and I don't want to fall, and like I got to be in performance and strong, but that means I've prepared for that. When I need to be in accelerated sport mode, it's because I've been working hard and I've prepared for that. So you can either live in like just like your lane, and then you won't be prepared of when your body needs to make these shifts. We are designed to be capable of that, but only you can prepare yourself for that.
Amen, sister.
Amen, sister. Oh
Bring
my
it.
gosh, you guys. Well, you know, either today, any day is a good day, but today is the best day to just be present, to start, to make choices, to be there. You know, Dr. Heidi and I serve you. You know that we've got programs and memberships. You know that you can reach out for more support. So we're here for you, or find support in your area to start saying, you know what? I got to get myself able to go in all those modes. I got to start like, maybe investing today so that I can kick ass like I'm supposed to.
Yeah, I can shift gears, maneuver, and live a long, fun life.
A long, fun, which we all need more fun
We
life.
all need more fun.
To all of our audience out there, please subscribe. Please down below, like this, comment, share this, send this to somebody who, again, we always say our number one objective is to always come on and have fun. So we hope you've smiled, felt our energy, had fun, and been able to take away like one thing. You might go like, oh God, if I need to change modes, could I? What can I do a little bit better today?
Exactly.
All right,
Right.
everyone.
Take care. Be well.
Cheers. See you next week. Bye-bye.